Hey everyone, it's Peter from Daydream Nation, and today I've got a very special guest, rock legend John Corabi. How are you, John?
I'm I'm doing great, pal. I'm just hanging out in this cold weather in Nashville.
Absolutely. The band has come out, well, Mick's come out with some experiences within the band that he hasn't been terribly happy about, negative. Did you see any of that during your time with Motley, or was everyone happy campers on this project?
No, it was. I will say this. Um, this is the one thing that a lot of people don't understand is when I say they uh they there was so much drama in that band and turmoil, and so when they told me that they were bringing Vince back, there was a huge part of me that was bummed and and kind of upset. But there was another part of me that felt like somebody was. I felt like there was, uh, I don't know what it would be in kilos. I know you guys do kilos, but I felt like a 300-pound man was standing on my shoulders. Do you know what I mean? And uh, I was actually relieved at the
Yep,
same time, if that makes any sense at all.
understand.
So yeah, there was shit like that going on all the time. But um and it's funny now this interview is going to come out, it's going to go global, and everybody's got, God damn it, he's talking about Motley again. Doesn't that
No,
guy have anything better to talk about?
no, it's all about everything, I guess. Did look when that happened and the record company wanted Vince back in the band, did any members of the band put up a fight, at least to your eyes, to keep you in?
I don't know, because I mean, I found out later that they had been secretly meeting with Vince, and the whole time that they were meeting with him, I was kind of under the impression like the record label had said to them, this guy Doug Morris basically said, um, "You need to bring back Vince, get rid of that guy." He didn't even know my name. He was like, "Get rid of that, get rid of the new guy, and bring Vince back." Um, and they never really said that to me. Like they didn't tell me that until the very end. But I know from that point where we had all flown to New York. This was even before we started doing what became the Generation Swine record. Um, Fuck, it was probably a year before, and they were like, "Yeah, I was getting there's no way, Crab, we're never bringing that guy back. No way, dude. No way, dude." And then in the meantime, they were meeting with him and
Hmm.
taking meetings and trying to work things out. And I think they were keeping me in their back pocket in case it didn't work out with Vince. Do you know what I mean? Which
Yep.
is, to be honest with you, I get it. That's a smart thing to do.
Hmm.
But um, it was just, there was just so much drama with those guys, and like, I would work out in the morning with Nicky, and he would talk about Tommy and Mick, and then I would go hang out with Tommy to write music in the afternoon, and he would talk about Nicky and Mick. And then I was living in Mick's guest house, so then I would come home at night, and I would sit and have a drink with Mick, and he would talk to Tommy and Nicky, and I was like, oh my God, this is fucking, it's impossible to keep up with all this bullshit. You know what I mean? So when they told
Yeah.
me, hey, dude, Vince is coming back, I was bummed. But like I said, it felt like someone took, you know, a 300-pound man off my shoulders.
Understandable. Look, you would have had some great experiences on tour, even though the tour didn't sort of set the world on fire. But you singing those songs live in front of that band must have been something else.
Yeah, like I loved, and the funny thing of it is like if you watch the movie The Dirt, they make it look like the band was playing in high school gymnasiums, to like 20 people. And it wasn't that way at all. I mean, uh, you know, we were pretty consistently like, we were playing like 10,000 plus seat arenas, but we were selling maybe, you know, 4,000, 5,000. So we were doing maybe quarter to half of the arena. So, and even that with that 3, 4, 5,000, 6,000 people, the response was great. Like, so, singing Shout at the Devil or Primal Scream or Wild Side, the audience was into it at the time, and it was fun. It was cool.
When you did the song list for that tour, were there certain Vince songs that you sort of said to the guys, I can't do that? Did you have some control that, oh, look, I'm not going to sing that?
No, I got into that was my first argument with Nikki. I said, I am not singing Girls, Girls, Girls.
Yeah.
I won't do it.
Yeah.
And he was like, it's one of our biggest hits. We got into an argument. And then Tommy intervened on my behalf and said, dude, if he ain't comfortable with it, he's the one that's got to sing it. So we'll just pick something else. You know what I mean? We don't have to do that song every fucking tour. So we did Wild Side, we did Shout at the Devil, we did Home Sweet Home, Primal Scream. I can't remember what else. Live Wire. Fuck, what else did we do? Can't remember. It's been so long.
Yeah.
We did a little bit of that and a little bit of the new record, and then we did a couple covers.
Yeah, well, I've looked at your song list, and I don't know how accurate it is online, but you did 7 songs off the album. That's a pretty decent chunk, and what I've seen, it's gone down a bomb with the fans. They really enjoyed it.
Yeah, and to be honest with you, I can say this now. Like at first, which is weird, which is why I didn't understand why Nikki was arguing with me about Girls, Girls, Girls. But initially, they didn't want to do any old Vince stuff at all. And I was the one like, dude, you guys are fucking high. You have to do some shit, dude. Like those fans are going to be fucking pissed if they pay however much it was for a ticket. Back then, it was like $25, $20, whatever it was. But I go, they're going to have a fucking come apart if you don't play Shout at the Devil or some of those old songs. And then they relented, and we eventually did do it was like half and half. Half the set was old and half of the set was from the new record.
Yep. Do you think that the band should have been under a different name, just rebranded or just rebooted under a different name? That would have been different for them?
Yeah, absolutely. And to be honest with you, we tried to do that.
Right.
But you have to realize, it was silly, but the guys had just signed a massive record deal with Elektra. They re-upped again for I don't know, $30 million, $40 million. And then, I don't think it was a year later, 6 months later, 8 months later, they called Elektra and said, Vince is out. We got this new guy. So right out of the gate, the record label was like, wait a minute. You know what I mean? That's that'd be like you going in and buying a $200 pair of fucking boots, and you buy the black ones and they send you the blue ones. And it's like, well, it's the boots, but you're like, no, it's not what I paid for. So the label was pissed about that. And then, so the whole thing right from the get-go was, it was kind of doomed, but then we said, when we were doing the record, it was so different than anything they had done prior that we said, oh, let's, we actually were trying to come up with a cool name. And then you had the record label, the booking agents, everybody involved except the band was sitting there going, wait a minute. You've already replaced the singer. We just gave you $30 million. You already replaced the singer. Now you want to replace the name. And it's like, this is going to start from scratch, dude. Like, this is going to be like a fucking new band. Now we're going to have to work for the money. And then the booking agents are going, yeah, like, you can't change the name of the band. You're going to go from a $200,000 or $250,000 a night band to a, $25,000 a night band. And so it was basically everybody else that always has their hands out in music. Everybody that was getting their percentage was sitting there and talked us out of it. And they said, you can't do that. So we didn't. We relented and we didn't do it. And that is the one thing that even now the record label and the booking agents and all the fans, they're all like, they should have named it something else. And even Nikki and Tommy and Mick will tell you that. Yeah, we probably should have called it something else, but, say it be. We didn't.